And you are a big believer of virality, right? Because that's something that's close to your heart. I've seen some interview of yours where I think for you it's like a first love, and the way you have built consumer engagement for some of the brands is really starts with the promise of virality. So, why do you think virality is important, and why should you think marketers need to have a focus on virality?
Yeah, so firstly, it's mostly because of the industry that I work in. So in my industry, in gaming and in entertainment, if you are, there's a saying, go viral or go home. So if you are not viral, you're pretty much going to be dead in a few moments. Like, we all grew up playing Counter Strike and Dota, right, through our college days, 2005 and 8. Do you think a lot of people are playing Counter Strike and Dota right now? No, right? But think about it. In my college, I don't know a single guy who did not play Counter Strike and Dota. Everybody used to love playing those games, right? They're no longer that big in India that they could have been in general, right? So virality is the art of keeping something relevant and at the top of your mind's awareness for a long period of time, right? And I'm not talking about the misunderstood definition of virality, which is like I need a spike in general. So
Correct.
IPL's first year IPL was rapidly viral, but IPL managed to keep its popularity throughout the years through amazing techniques and whatever it is. So virality is not just that. Virality is that how can you break something down to an extent that you understand the causes for the virality, and those are replicable. Sometimes they are not replicable. You do the same things twice and thrice, people are not going to listen to you, right? So you can replicate those over a long period of time, and those can translate into business results, right? So that's something very beautiful we've managed to do in Krafton. And in gaming, if you can do this literally translates to an enormous amount of revenue and user base, right? The reason I think it's important is that if you use science, no, you can break down virality to certain factors. Like till today, I still find people talking about virality in terms of number of views and impressions. Ki, hey, this video went viral. Iske paas 50 million views hai in general, right? Views is mostly an output metric, like I said, right? Check out the number of shares. If someone gets like 50,000 to 1 lakh shares on Instagram, it catches my attention because I know it's gonna go to the trending page, right?
Hmm.
So virality has a lot of science behind it, like I discussed. So there is AVD, there is total time spent. Total time spent is different from average view durations, right? Number of shares, number of comments, right? Then there's something called randomness in comments. So if everybody is commenting, say somebody is promising free iPhones, then and type free iPhone in comment section, everybody is typing free iPhone, free iPhone, free iPhone. So the algorithm rejects it, even it might have 10,000 comments, right? So there's something called randomness, or the complete the total change in comments that you see. So how rich your comment section is, how granular your comment section is, all of this contribute to a huge amount of views. So we broke all of this down to a science because we had that data with us, because we have been a viral brand for 5 years, right? This again gives us a little bit of an edge, right? But I think your question was that if you're starting out now, how do you start?
Correct.
So
So since you have broken down the science of virality, if you were to tell me there is a mental model or a framework of virality, what are the 4 or 5 things that a marketer should look at?
yeah, very simple. So first is that make your content shareable. Right. And with every ad agency, the first page and the first deck, they will write a shareable content, etc. But nobody really does it, right? Everybody watches a content, sorry, creates a content to make it interesting, but people don't make content to make it shareable. There's a difference, by the way. So think about Instagram. So all of you viewers, just close your eyes and think about Instagram for a second. What is the most deepest action you can take or you have taken in Instagram when you've shared it with a friend? That
Hmm.
button, right? That beautiful. So that button is extremely valuable. It is the most valuable button that you can think of. And guess what? That's something that you and Instagram both agree on. Instagram also thinks that's my most valuable button. You also think it's my most valuable button because when you share with something, it's something deeply personal, not the like button, right? So I think track your shares is something that I will do. Make your content shareable. Second is that please start your content in an interesting way. The first 5 seconds are very important. In your first 5 seconds, if some a huge dopamine hit is not coming, a huge important thing is not happening, etc., people will skip your videos. At least in the first 30 seconds, if you're not able to grab your users' attention, they are not going to continue doing or watching that, right? So these are two things that you can easily do. The third and fourth metrics are things which are very difficult to achieve, but these are called hacking your AVDs. So when I say hacking your AVDs, It's very difficult as a creator to do that, by the way. Say you have around 30 minutes of content. You cut out and you reject things continuously to make a 6 minute video so that you value the user's time as much as you value yours.
Mm.
Like I have known teams where they have put in their videos where the marketing team has not seen the entire video because the video was 30 minutes long. So dala kyun bhai?
Mm.
Right? You should put like a 6 minute video and say ki for the long version click here, whatever it is. Then you get to know, right? The third is being honest with your objectives. I think a lot of people are not honest with their metrics in general, like because it's become easy. Because YouTube and Instagram gives you the route to sort of increase your views by paying money, you sort of don't stay honest to it. And on TV, you never really know what the metrics are. Who is watching your ad on mute? You don't know. I have known in recent times. I've like this is anecdotal a little bit. I've gone around to many houses. People are watching IPL on mute, right, and doing their own things like laptop पे काम कर रहे, TV mute पे IPL चल रहा है, etc. So you don't know what impact you're doing, what driving, etc. So again, you can never really trust all the data that you get from TV in general, right? So you should only look at data which you can trust. So if your starting point, make sure your content is interesting, make sure the idea is interesting, make sure insight comes from a user, comes from your users who think about it deeply, right? So for example, if you're a food brand and you are selling products which are unhealthy and you know your users technically do not like unhealthy products, you will never make it big, even in advertising at least. You can make it big by giving discounts and free stuff and whatever it is, but in advertising you'll never make it big if that is your pulpit in general. The reverse is also true. If you're making a food brand and you know people love eating you because it's just so goddamn tasty, if you start bringing in healthy stuff, they're not going to listen to you, right? They'll be like, मैं तो खाता ही था इसके लिए मजे के लिए, right? So you need to nail your insight absolutely spot on and understand them at a very deeper level, etc. Right? So that's why I said like if you're FMCG, the best market research you can do is to we used to say that in our day, दुकान पे जाके खड़े हो जा. So
Mm.
you go stand by the dukan and observe your users. What do they do? What do they say, etc. Like that. Someone comes in and say, "I want that cake." I say, hey, "Don't take this cake. Take the other cake, etc." He or she says, "No, no, I want this cake because of this, etc. Because mummy boli hai, because इसमें palm oil ज़्यादा है, because ये है, whatever it is people say." But you get to get real insights which you won't get on the other side of the mirror in your AC room that a market research agency is conducting for you, right? So in case of beautiful ways you can do, like if you're running an airline company, do you know the kind of stories you can gather by just standing at the check-in counter? Like
Yeah.
if you're a brand manager for an airline, just go stand outside a check-in counter. Insane stories you'll get, right? Amazing stories. If you're a brand manager of an automobile company, go to your showrooms. People are expressive, etc. Like that. If you find it difficult to gather the easy hack that I have, the comment section of my video, if you don't have access to that, you can always do that, right? So with any brand, like if you're a food delivery, you can always tag along with a delivery rider and go visit, say it's a sir survey नहीं करना है, but आपको क्या चीज अच्छा लगा इसके बारे में, that we came and gave you the delivery in fast, or we reimburse you when something goes wrong or whatever it is. Just tag along and meet like 5-10 customers in general. These are again easy things to really do, right? So what I said was a cheat code earlier in this podcast may not sound like a cheat code just because I give you 5 examples in 5 completely different industries where you can talk to real customers in a real way. So you get these things done, you can become viral if you want to. Like if you're an aspiring brand trying to break it into the food industry or any other industry, you can always make it big, to be honest.